welcome back to American Truck Simulator, and we are back or still in the Mack truck. We picked up a contract last time to deliver some frozen fruits from Great Falls, where we are now, down to Butte, Montana. And so that's what we're going to do. Thanks for all the comments and tips and stuff last time. Let's pick a gear. Pick a gear, folks. Feels like the view has changed. One moment. Let me adjust my seat and my field of view. Yeah, I think I had it set higher than that. And then we want to adjust the seat position to move myself forwards a little bit again, and we'll try and go with that. All right, off we go. Yeah, it kind of feels like it had lost the settings, and what I've forgotten to do is put my headphones in, which is kind of, I don't normally play with game sound. If you're new, you don't normally watch my content. But it kind of helps with ATS, I think. So, yeah. Do I have... I kind of like to have my lights on as well, because it helps with seeing the dash. We don't have any sat-nav in this truck, so I am going to stick on this guy. I did get some suggestions for mods to add, and I have to admit I haven't, because I've been kind of obsessed with playing a different game, which you might have seen if you are subscribed, or maybe not anyway. The horticultural simulation schedule 1, which is an awful lot of fun. So yeah, that's been my hyper fixation lately. So and I've things are kind of busy at the moment, so I'm working to get a little bit ahead with content, because I worked out that I'm trying to record 10 videos this week. So yeah, I'll probably have a look over the weekend, because it's a bank holiday weekend again this weekend, at what mods we can maybe add in to improve some things a little bit. And I think one of them was around improving the little menu in the corner, or the little HUD thingy in the corner. So yeah, but we are off on our way to, yes, I know it's called Butte, Montana, but it's funnier to say but. Yes, I have the sense of humor sometimes of a teenage child. Deal with it, I'm afraid, folks. Speed limit. Let's get the cruise control set. And yeah, so back in the truck. And yeah, I was playing, as I said, I was playing this rather a lot as I got into starting the series on this. And then I picked up another game to hyper focus on, which I've been playing rather a lot as well. But it's quite nice to just throw in a bit of, and if you know me, you'll find, I spoke about this in the Thompson video I recorded earlier. If you know me, you'll find this a bit of a shock. It's kind of nice to throw in a bit of diversity in my gameplay. So I'm kind of enjoying the fact that I'm picking up things like ATS and playing them and having fun playing them. So yeah, and maybe the reason that I'm struggling with the mirrors is they're in a completely different position in this truck, and that's going to be a feature, I guess, until we can actually afford our own truck, that we're going to be jumping between different trucks. Yeah, so well, you know, that's not a problem. That's not a problem, because in my save that I'm playing off camera, I quite quickly brought a truck. Oh, that Jake brakes loud, isn't it? I quite quickly brought a truck, so yeah, I've been in the one truck for quite a while. Yeah. Oh, it's not that turn. Ah, shut up. The other thing, we will not be reverse parking this trailer. These 3 trailers. Yeah. You can get that idea out of your head straight away. There is no way I am attempting that. This would become a 6-hour-long video if we attempted that, and no one wants to watch me spend 6 hours trying to park a trailer. And if you do, you're some kind of masochist. No, I'm not doing it, however much you pay me. Well, if you want to get in touch with some very big numbers, then maybe we can talk and I can do some specialist content for you. But yeah, that's one for the Only Farms page. Let's brake. Why do they never go through the roadworks at 55? This is why you should pull across early, folks. Oh, that bugs me in real life as well. People who wait until the very last minute to pull across when they get to roadworks. Like, merge early, everyone gets to go a bit quicker, and you don't get stuck, because I ain't going to let you across if you're waiting at the last minute to try and go that a little bit quicker. There are days... So many of you know that when I go into the office at work, I commute a relatively long way. For some of you, probably not a really long way, because some of you have quite a long commute as well, from chats we've had in Discord and stuff. But my commute into the office is about 70 miles, which for some of you, you'll think I'm insane. Some of you, it's not that far. But there are days when I wish I drove like a battered old Land Rover, so that when some idiot tries to do that, I can just let him crash into it, because it doesn't matter. It's like, yeah, go for it. You merge right at the last minute, because if you hit my car, what you're going to do is destroy your made of plastic, modern, expensive thing, and you're going to add value to my car and character. Yeah, it's kind of sometimes where my head is, because a lot of people are arse-hats on the road, and unfortunately you get to experience an awful lot of them when you commute a lot on certainly on UK motorways, probably around the world on motorways, or interstates, or freeways, because we should be using the correct terminology here in the good old US of A. No. So just a reminder, I do play on controller, and the steering is a little bit funky on controller sometimes, maybe. Again, there was a mod suggestion to help improve it. Ooh, let's not hit the cop car on the side of the road. Oh, no, broken down car. Okay. Actually, it's one of the weird rules I found in America, and they get really twitchy if you don't know. And you may not know, because you may not be an American and may not have driven in America. And I don't know if it's state dependent, but certainly experienced it on some of my travels in the US. If you happen to come across a cop car that has pulled someone over, or is on the hard shoulder, or whatever Americans call the bit over there. You can see me nudging my head over so you can see it. This bit, yeah, that bit. They expect you to, I think, either significantly slow down or move across a lane. And it kind of makes sense, you know, because they're like stood on a hard shoulder without protection. Maybe they should have protection, you know. Unprotected hard shouldering is dangerous. And yeah, the first time we experienced this, I was traveling for business, and this cop had, I think they'd pulled someone over, and then they were frantically waving at us to move across, and it's like, I guess you have to do that. And I think my boss was driving at the time. But yeah, no, we're not going to move. We're not going to move across. Yeah, interesting, and they were quite insistent. But that means and I guess you can see them from quite a long way. But then you need to know that you need to do that, and I guess you learn that in your training to drive in when it's your own country. But when it's not your own country, and I guess that's down to you should educate yourself. And I got to admit, I didn't particularly well. So yeah, maybe that's on me. But anyway, there will be. Oh, that's a pretty river. So one of the, let's say there will be many more. Also, one of the things I liked about driving around. So I've not been as far north as Montana in the US. A lot of my time was in California, and I'm not going to say exactly where in California, but in bits of California. I spent a lot of time, typically on the trips that I've done, there's a fair bit of free time, and so I will spend, and some of the trips have been with other people, some have been on, you know, with other people, but I'm the only one from my company, which means I can get my own car when I'm out there. And so I will travel around a bit on my own and explore and stuff. And I do like driving around and just like exploring, and so, you know, like the sequoia forests and all that kind of thing. And quite a lot of that countryside, you know, you can be driving along, you know, be driving down the road, and it's just like nice rivers sort of along the side of the road and stuff. And there are places you can just stop and get out and sit by the river and chill out. Yeah, really enjoyed that, particularly after, you know, tough day at work. It's slightly weird. It feels it anyway that was that a scene? Is this a photo spot coming up? And it's not showing on the map as a photo spot, so we'll just keep the hammer down. This is a scenic overlook, but we'll keep on trucking. But discovered. It looks like we need to exit here to go into Butte. Yeah, it's quite, you know, if you had, you know, done the day at work, jump in the car and head off into the kind of national parks and stuff, and just go find somewhere, because typically the times of year that I would be out there would be when it wasn't very busy touristy wise, and yeah, you just kind of chill out and sit by the river and relax, and it's nice. Yeah. But the bit that I was going to say, that's a long one. That's what she said. Was it seemed to get dark really quickly out there. You'd kind of go from it being daytime to it being nighttime very quickly. Yeah. Anyway, I think we're not too far away from being done now. We're going to have to stop at the way station, do we think? We can bypass it. So I do have one of the mods I have installed reduces the chance or the frequency that we get called into the way station, which is kind of nice. I don't know if it's a more frequent occurrence or an overly frequent occurrence in base game, but I saw that mod and thought, yeah, we'll grab that. I actually just grabbed part of a set of someone's mods that when I searched for recommended mods for ATS, that came up as a list of recommended mods. So yeah, getting our cruise control going, getting a better gear. Yeah, anyway, it's kind of good. Oh, we need to take the exit. Almost missed that one. And let's drop down a few gears. And hopefully make our delivery. Deliveroo, anyone? Oh, he's coming across. Maybe not. That should be okay. Hopefully. Oh, gear change. Double gear change. That feels like he might have hit us. The AI definitely is not the brightest, and that's one of the reasons that I run the police mod that I run, because it reduces some of the traffic offences that you're likely to encounter, which are down to dumb AI. I agree, milk is delicious and natural, and you should drink it. And you should drink milk with all of the fat in it because it's good for you and it's where all the vitamins are. None of this low-fat bollocks. Alright, let's stop there. Let's go. Yeah, you're gonna have to wait for me, buddy, I'm afraid. We're going. And we're not going to be particularly quick pulling out, so... Yep. Off we go. Not too far now. And I think this was not badly paying. It wasn't brilliant because it's another relatively short journey, but the plan, so it was kind of my plan, and you guys seem to suggest it was not a stupid idea, is to focus our skill points on unlocking the more dangerous contracts because they're going to pay more. I think the suggestion was to throw one into distance to get some slightly longer jobs, and I'm not averse to that because this has been quite a quick little job. And then fragile, just in time, and the dangerous cargoes. And I think spreading them across all of those will give us a decent variety of jobs and let us hopefully earn some decent money whilst not having to do ridiculously long journeys early on. I'm not averse to doing some longer journeys, but I found that once you unlock those longer options, you tend not to get the shorter ones. So yeah. stop at the truck stop scale and activate the icon to submit for inspection. Yes, sir. We will do that, sir. There we go. Thank you kindly, sir. Alrighty, let's get this delivered, shall we? And see where we're headed next. And progress is going to be a bit slower doing slightly shorter things, but that's okay. That's okay. It's about having fun, having a bit of a chat, and doing some trucking. Having a trucking good time. And there will be bad jokes along the way. And dad jokes. There we go. Awesome. So if we go for the... you can see why that's worth 270 XP. We take the easy one for an extra 25. Because I'm not averse to trying to pull off a straight line park. I'll have a go at that. Have a go at that, mate. But yeah, I'm not going to try and reverse this thing. It looks like they might have a few return loads for us as well. Well, a few return jobs, because we need a truck as well as a load. And let's not get carried away and go too fast, because any screw up is gonna wreck us. Looks like we're possibly on for success based on mirrors. Yeah, looks like we're in the boxes. Creep forwards. Oh yeah, she's not far enough forwards. Okay. Nice. There we go. Awesome. Excellent job. Of course it was. Of course it was. Brilliant. So we've unlocked our first one, and our first one we will put in to long distance to get slightly longer jobs. And because it gives us a 25% boost on XP. So it's quite important. And then let's have a look at jobs. So we are currently in Butte, Montana. Sorted by distance per mile. So up to Kielspie, Montana. Insulation panels. Or we've got that short run to Idaho Falls. With a transformer. That might be an interesting one because it's an oversized load. That might be interesting. I don't want to go too cheap, particularly. I mean, a bit of me says we should just take the best one. But that just takes us back to Great Falls, which is a bit boring. Or we go to Thompson Falls. It's going to give us $6,000. Just 211. XP wise, we probably want 233, 240. $9,000. Sort by route length. And that pays all. Actually, there's none over 250 anyway. So let's grab that one. Fracking tank. No, we've just done that drive. Butte to Helena. That's really short. Helena to Bozeman. It's quite short as well. Let's do that one. That's the best paying one. It's going to get us more experience from the distance. Or do we do the interesting one? I think we do the interesting one. 233 miles. So let's grab it. We'll get queued up for next time. And this is, it's not a wide load, at least it's just long, so I don't think we have any escort vehicles, so this should be a fun one for next time. I hope you enjoyed the video, folks. Comments, questions, suggestions down below as always. Thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members, and I will see you next time as we try and maneuver this monstrous thing 200 odd miles out of Butte, Montana. Apologies if my saying of "but" annoyed you all, but I found it funny. See you next time.